Hello and welcome back. Welcome back to Holopon Solo Sagas, and today we will be continuing our fifth and likely final session of Call of Cthulhu with the Ashmolean. Yes, thank you and welcome back. Welcome back to subscribers, and if you're not a subscriber whilst you're watching, do consider hitting that subscription button on the bottom. We will be using the Solo Investigator's Handbook and of course the 7th edition Call of Cthulhu book to play through our freeform Call of Cthulhu game that we've been playing, containing Evelyn Sinclair, our Egyptologist and antiquarian, who has, via investigating a strange painting that came into the Ashmolean Museum in Oxford and the disappearance of one of his colleagues, Rachel, has got caught up into a weird situation involving a painting that seems to contain images of people dancing and strange faces around the room of the hall where they're dancing in all different types of clothing, to the faces of past owners, as far as Evelyn can discover from the investigations that he's done, of the painting itself. Evelyn then furthered the investigation into the painting's history and was sent a letter advising if Evelyn was to bring the painting to Avebury in Oxford, then things would be explained to him, and the Queen's Void would help him understand what was going on with the painting. Some weird things have been happening to Evelyn on the way there. When Evelyn got there, he was accosted by some people who dragged him out of his car, and he has then awoken tied to a post, a structure, like one of the beams holding up the roof of like an oldish looking barn. The barn has been decked out inside by what looks like artists. Looks like there's lots of painting has been done, lots of artwork has been conducted within the barn. And Evelyn is surrounded by people in strange, dark, hooded cows. And the painting has been put on an altar in front of Evelyn as the central focus of this large room. Evelyn is then, whilst tying there and panicking, not knowing what's going to happen next, a figure approaches where people move to the side. So this room is hot. It's lit by a bare bulb. There you can see that it's come to evening time through the slats in this old barn. There's a smell of old sheep and farming, as though the barn hasn't been used for a while. It would be quite hot and stuffy inside this barn as well, because there's a number of people in here. And the time of year, it's June. As the crowds part, and this grotesquely huge bloated woman, whose shawl that she's wearing over covering her large bloated body is constantly moving and speaking in a wet, slimy type of voice. She informs Evelyn that he is going to be of use to them to sacrifice to their god. He then had a panic and screamed quite dramatically. Our current mythos is at 44, and we will use, even though at 44 basically we know what's going to happen, is we'll only roll, which is, I mean, we don't need to really discover anything. It will be dice roll. So how you work this is you roll percentage. So this is in story development. Basically, things are going to start to happen to Evelyn. Evelyn is down to 30 sanity, and probably he's going to go insane quite dramatically. So we'll roll percentage. Let's see, 97. We add 44 to that, which gives us over 100, which means that dice roll, which is a thing happens, or he sees or hears something. So things start to happen within. So a ritual is basically going to begin taking place. Something is going to happen to Evelyn, but we'll roll this and see what happens at the end of this bit. So 46 is on dice roll is you see something. So we go to the visual effects table, spooky tables as it's called. Visual effects, we roll percentage and we add the mythos points, which is 44 to this. So we've got 112. The shape of a mythos creature approaches. Is it real? That's fine. So let's see. Let's do some verbs, and then we will say from the verbs we'll decide what the people, so they're artists. We'll call them artists. There's a variety of people in cows. What they begin doing, which will then evoke this image of one of the forms. So possibly. So he did see this strange creature with claws and long tongue and tendrils whilst he was driving. So maybe that will resurface. So we have 629. 629 is 229. 229 is exhibit, which that works in this format. And then we have 545, which is 245. Foretell. Okie doke. And let's do a third one. So exhibit, foretell. I think that is just 40. It is just 40. Babble. Right. First things first. What we start doing is some of the crowd begins to move to the side and they begin to do stuff that's out of Evelyn's view. That's whatever will happen afterwards. We are going to have, they will begin to, so we've got exhibit, foretell, babble. They are going to start to babble in a strange language. This is going to be scary, which is going to add 2 to the mythos, taking the mythos to 46. The language is, let's see, what could we say the language is? We could make him make an occult roll at a 5th or at a half, 32. So he needs to make, has he got any insight left? No. He can make an occult roll to understand, otherwise, if he understands, it's probably terrifying. If he doesn't understand, it's just scary. 33 is good enough. His occult would be at 32, but I'm happy to give that at 33 because it's close enough that he can piece together bits of the words, which becomes terrifying, which will add another 3 to that, putting the mythos to 49. He will need to make a sand check, and then we'll discuss what it is they're saying, which is under 30. 43 is a failure, losing a D4 plus 1. Losing 3, taking it to 27. So Evelyn is hearing them babble, and they're telling, you can piece together words of, let's see, they're babbling in a strange tongue, and they're talking about they're talking, what are they talking about? Let's do, so they're babbling. So we've got exhibit. Exhibit, I know what it is. Exhibit is going to be, they're going to start dancing. So let's see what it is that they are babbling about exactly. So 4 is 137. 137 gives us deceive. So they would, so if we're saying deceive, maybe, well, let's see what they're deceiving about. 392 is 192. Elude, okay. So we could say they're alluding to, but whatever it is, it's going to be, so 119 is 419. Scare, right, fine. That's why it's terrifying. That's why it's left the point. They're alluding to something which is terrifying Evelyn, and they start to dance, and it is talking about the knowledge. So maybe, so what we've got is, so Nyarlathotep would be worshipped by artists, dancers and musicians, all drawn to his ability to influence creativity through madness. So they're talking, so they're all babbling in strange language. It's an occult tongue that Evelyn has heard before, and it's a raising pitch, and it's sounding strange, it's disjointed, and they're not sounding totally, they're not making a lot of sense to Evelyn. They're alluding to foretelling about what the power or foresight that they're having, and how that comes through in their expressions of dance and the art, and they're talking about various different things, and at the same time he can hear the slapping, and that is people applying paint in wild, large gestures to huge canvases. and they're smearing and then starting to remove the gowns over in some sections, and bodies are being smeared with paint. Now let's see, I think the answer is going to be yes. So we're going to use the oracle to say, are all of these people human in look? Now we are going to say it's highly unlikely that they are all human, which is minus 40 from this. So because we also know from the Keeper's book that Nyarlathotep can summon any other of the mythos creatures, and a lot of the mythos creatures are terrified of Nyarlathotep, who is the soul of the elder gods. 50, so that would go down to 18. 18 is no, these are not all human. So some of these bodies, as they're being exposed and covered in paint and writhing, have seeming to change shape. And that's where we're talking about exhibiting themselves and dancing. We can also say that they're doing other physical activities that are being smeared in paint to exhibit that Aleister Crowley would do a lot of, not Crowley, but Crowley, which was just an excuse. Google him. In worship of physical worship, and the paint is being smeared. And we will then go, let's do a word, see if they're being violent in any way. 1, 2, so that would be 1, I think is just 27. 27, arrest. Arrest is good because arrest would allude to something that would involve, like arrest could be to stop something, but i.e. to be arrested. And something that would cause to be arrested would be, so there's a lot of violent acts going on, and Evelyn is trying to look away. So let's have him trying to look away in being his intelligence. Half intelligence, 35 to look away, 81, no, he fails even his normal intelligence. So he's seeing these strange bodies writhing. A sanity check, 42, failing again. We'll do that. Another one of those. Another one at 5, which is a d6 plus 1, which is 5, which takes him down to 22, and the mythos to 54. So there's all these people are beginning to writhe, and they're chanting, and they're talking about the dance that's going to start, and the dance is starting, and then we will have, what do we have? Let's do another. So this says that it looks like so what we rolled for our things that we see, our visual, was the shape of a creature, of a mythos creature approaches. Is it real? At this point, the bloated woman will step forward in front of Evelyn again, and as she speaks, I think we'll have her begin to meld and change to be our mythos creature. Her face begins to disappear and begins to be consumed, as though her face becomes one big blood red tentacle, moving out as though her whole body that was undulating with numerous tentacles, then her face as she speaks begins to just meld into, as she is making the offer of the visions of the other places. And that blood red dripping tentacle reaches out and gently strokes across Evelyn's face, as Evelyn then begins to scream. Losing 3. We're just ripping him apart, aren't we? He's gone down to 19 sanity. Begins to scream as this tentacle strikes across his face. Now let's see, what shall we do next? So that's the vision. Let's chuck something else new at him. So we're at 54. Oh, that's not bad. That's 05. 54, 05 gives us 59. Something else might happen. What have we got? 59. 59 would be a discovery. So maybe he can discover something about this room. I mean, it's not 59, so that goes down to 59, which is a discovery. So what could he discover in this room that he may be able to use to his advantage? 59. You overhear someone discussing the things you're researching. It may be indirectly related to. So let's go 89. Psychoanalysis. He has no psychoanalysis skills. 01. So he would now. Well, we'll roll it, but he's not going to be able to do anything. So there are some of the people, some of the conversations that are occurring near him. Maybe people are beginning to untie him. People are going to begin to untie him, because then we can switch on to the dance and get him to untie him. And what they're talking in, he could then try and run, I suppose, and they could try and take him down if he could understand. We'll give him a psychology roll, a straight psychology roll, which is 10%. And if he gets it, we'll give him a hint as to what's going on. So he has psychology of 10%. 33. Or he could spend his luck to take it down, and then I'll tell you what. We'll give him we will do psychoanalysis. So 20, right? All he needs to do is spend 20 luck, and he has taken that down to, or actually 19, which he does have. So we'll call 20 because then the math's easier in my head. He takes it down to 35 luck. He's got psychoanalysis. He succeeds at psychoanalysis, and so we'll give him an insight. So we'll give him 1 insight for making the roll, which he might be able to help him. He might be able to get him to escape. We could try. So they untie him, and she reaches out her hands as though to dance, and he is hearing them excitedly talking about, because we've got a exhibit dance, they're excitedly talking about now it's the time for the dance. We know that within that painting everyone has been dancing, and possibly he will look across and he will say, let's make him roll spot hidden. 57 is under his normal spot hidden. He notices that the painting itself is beginning to look almost plastic and almost start to move and meld and change around. Maybe they're speaking in a slightly bastardized version of Latin, which he does understand. And so as they're doing that and they're untying him, and he understands that there's something, they're being very excited about the dance, which makes him know that he doesn't want to be here. Now, he has done some successful rolls there, so we might make him make a sanity check, because he'd probably fail it. If we did make him make a sanity check, he would fail it. And so he is understanding that he needs, basically he can try and get away. So this is a point where he could attempt to have the idea to get away. Now, let's see what happens. Let's do what happens next, and then we will. So all of this is bits within the story. So we would normally put these with bigger chunks of time between them, but he doesn't have that time at the moment. We're just chasing him through to the end point. So he's now got. So we've got a 54 mythos, 100, 154. All right. So now we're back onto the dice rolls again. 100. Dear me. Okay. So dice rolls. 98. Something happens. This could be his end times. All right, random event. We add the mythos, which is 54. Sorry, it's over the top, over 100. Being over 100, a mythos creature appears, terrifying to behold. Also, if it makes sense for it to be, then post it. Okay, so okay, all right. Okay, so this is going to be terrifying to behold. So basically, we will have him. They're untying him. This is the point where he will start to resist them untying him and attempting to force him into holding her hands. So first off, we'll have him attempting to resist against them, making him move towards her. And then, I mean, once she's got her hands on him, her strength, even as in human form, is going to overpower him. So we will have a basic, so this is just an average human. So rather than the thugs who were fighting him previously, we'll have average human. We'll give them a brawling of 25%. 2 of them are going to attempt to hold Evelyn and drag Evelyn across the middle of this cleared space, where he will then be able to see what's going on, and then we'll chase him down. We'll have, I don't know, we'll do like three bits, and then we'll see if he can get away, or with the shreds of his sanity, or he ends up in the painting. So he knows what's going. So first they need to 08. Okay, so one's got so they've got a brawl of 25, an average human. And the other one is fumbling with him. He gets he's got a 50. 35 is a 15 difference. 08 is a 17 difference. So they're struggling against each other, and they've moved him slightly towards her. She has taken. So now we need, but we can do that, can't we? We can have him be drawn into the other realms by Nyarlathotep, and then we can see if he can pull himself back out again, unbeknownst to himself. We can try doing that, and if he can pull himself back out again, that might cause some kind of ripple and allow him to try and escape. If he can't pull himself back out again, then we can just close it. We can just close the story with the painting. So he has been sort of struggling against them, going towards her, and as he moves towards her, she is forming almost completely, changing from this form into this form, just looking like it. So this isn't Nyarlathotep. This is Nyarlathotep. This is a representation that is being conjured up by the psychic energy of all of these people and creatures worshipping Nyarlathotep. So the next one succeeds on a 16 with a difference of 9 as they're dragging him closer down, and 35 is a fail. One of them is just fumbling. He's got a 50, 55. Okay, he fails, but we could spend luck to take it down. So what was that? So that was a difference of, did I say 7? So he needs to get a difference of, say, 10. So he will spend 15, taking his luck down to 20, and he breaks free of one of them and starts to try and run away. So you can imagine there's lots of people all moving around because they're all absorbed in their own things. It's basically, it's almost an orgy of art. There's painting going on in corners, people are dancing, there's a strange rhythmic sound, it's getting hotter, his vision is getting more blurred and chaotic, movement and colour is just streaming around him as he tries to break himself free. His suit has become torn, and the knees on his suit are dirty from where they dragged him in, and he's trying to push away from the bloated woman who has now disrobed, and he's just approaching him with the hands held out to embrace him with the tentacles that are flopping around her body, looking absolutely disgusting. Let's give him a sanity check. Whee! 22. That fails, but it's close. We will say this now is becoming petrifying. So our mythos goes to 64. He fails and loses a d6. Only one. That's not bad. He's holding himself together. He's down to 18 sanity. He is pushing back from those people as he broke free from them, and he's starting to backpedal. Does he keep his footing? What's his athletics? We'll give him his dodge. He's got, let's go half dodge, 35. 05, outstanding. He keeps his footing, and then he begins to scrabble back from the straw that's on the floor. Let's give them a sanity. Is he trying dodge? They've got 25% dodge. They stay standing as well, so they don't slip on him trying to struggle away. She's screaming, "Grab him! Do not let him leave!" As she's trying to stumble forwards. We'll give her like a 20%. 75. Okay, she trips and falls to her knees, trying to grab at him as Evelyn, Professor Evelyn Sinclair, screaming, backs away. This is now terrifying. Let's do another couple of verbs and see if we can, what else starts. Do people start to focus or grab him, or are they all sort of more tied up into their own things at the moment? It's the potential that they will, so 561, 261, gaze, okay. Are they just watching? 427, 127, so we've got gaze, crowd, okay, gaze and crowd, yes, they are just watching. So most of the people who are not all tied up in their own energy generating, are standing and watching, open mouthed, as Evelyn is screaming and moving away. Let's see, is the painting is responding? 819 319, and the painting is 390. The painting is laughing. Okay, we've got laugh comes out. Laugh. All right. So there's a laugh that he can hear. He can hear a laughter, like an omnipresent laughter. So this would be Nyarlathotep enjoying his panic and enjoying all of the energy and the chaos and the madness in the room. We'll do another sanity check. Just far out. This is now getting more and more terrifying. 4, so he's going down to 14. I just want to drive Evelyn insane. Basically, I think I'm going to get there in the end, unless he makes a couple rolls and he gets out, in which case he will be a gibbering wreck. He might get out and be an insane gibbering wreck, so they don't get him, but he becomes, I don't know, one of the homeless in Oxford. Okay. Well, actually, that's not a bad end, is it? That's all right. That he becomes one of the homeless so he's just one of one of the insane gibbering people that people just walk past. That's very Neil Gaiman. Actually, we shouldn't mention Neil Gaiman at the moment, should we? So let's see what happens next. So he's succeeded in that. He's pushing back. We can imagine that he has pushed back from the crowd. The crowd is mainly standing and watching. There's a couple of people trying to grab him. She is screaming to grab hold of him. We've got this laughter that's coming up. Let's see if he can make another. Let's see what we've got. We'll have a couple of people come up and try and grab him. He'll try and punch them. So he has a normal brawling of 50. Oh, that fouls. So he could spend. He can't get that down. He's only got 20 luck left. So he fails drastically. Someone comes up to try and grab him. They fail drastically. They stumble after him as he backs against the wall. So he's getting to the edge of the wall. Are they starting to watch him anymore? 470 would be 170. Disperse. Okay, they disperse. So they begin to part out of the way. They disperse out of the way. They separate to allow him to actually keep moving around. So there's only the two people, the two normal people who have been tasked by the bloated woman to grab him are actually doing anything. She is looking around at the people and saying, "Why aren't you helping?" As they're not helping because they're consumed by the insanity and consumed by the situation and doing what they're doing. Let's make him make a sanity roll. If he passes, then a thing will have come to him. If he fails, we'll do another thing happen. Surprisingly enough, he fails. Okay, so this isn't a sanity check. This is just to see if he gets his head together. So we will do a verb roll. Oh no, I know. We'll do a something happens. So we're now on 64 mythos. So that would be 84. 84 is a dice roll, which is, what's that? That's 69, dude. Which is something happens. So we had him. Oh, 05. That's interesting. 05. Late this night when you go to bed, you hear a swish. Turn in the light, you see the note that slips under the door. I'll put that. 19. Oh no, we add mythos. So that was 05. Adding mythos would give us 69 again. Oh, all right. Okay. So we've got an NPC who has been helping you out has disappeared. Making inquiries, you can find no trace of him, no history, nothing. It is as if he has never existed. Right. He needs to make a spot hidden roll. Otherwise, he's going to notice that the paintings begin moving, and one of the people, what's that? That's 90, so that's failing, so that saves him. Or we could just make him see it anyway. Let's make him see it anyway. He sees that the painting has begun not just to be fluid and moving, but that it's almost as though it's rippling, as though it's a view of an actual place where there are people in it dancing eternally, and they are panting and they are looking Though they are smiling and looking happy, their eyes are showing torment. Let's make him make a... He needs to... Spot hidden. We'll have spot hidden again. 03. Okay, that's clearly spot hidden. So he can clearly see that these people, from their eyes, they're pleading eyes and torment. And that's when he sees Rachel, the NPC, which went missing, is in the painting, and she is dancing, and he sees the other faces. There was a face on an animal, I think it was on a crow or something, which was one of the old owners. That crow is just flying backwards and forwards and flying around. Everyone is just moving in this painting continually. It's a movement of blurred paint and blurred vision as things just are circling and swaying, as the laughter is building up and the chanting is building up and the heat in the room is starting to build up. And he can see that it's Rachel in the painting, and Rachel looks tired and terrified, but she doesn't stop smiling. Sanjak, 24, he's getting close every single time, but failing. This is terrifying again, losing 3 sanity, taking to 11 sanity, and taking our mythos to 74. At this point, we'll give him another chance to run. So now he's screaming. He's realizing that there's this screaming going on in the room. It's a loud, terrified, real high-pitched scream, and he realizes it's him. And then he's going to attempt to, so the people will come over as he's seen that and been distracted. He gets to try and, they'll just do a dot, they're going to try and grab him. They have a 25%. 02, okay, that definitely grabs him. So that's a 23 difference. He will attempt to dodge. We'll give him a half, which is a 37. 16, he dodges. He dodges out of the way. Okay, I think he's going to get out. He dodges out of the way of them with his 11 sanity. And they fall to the... Let's give them... they've got... What was theirs? I think there's... they've got a 57. So they fail. They slip to the ground as he begins to run towards... Give him a spot hidden, see if he can spot where the door is. 62, he spots where the door is. He runs towards the barn doors and bashes against the doors. The doors have been barred. He is going to need to do a strength check to ram against the doors. He has 40 strength, 95. Okay, so he smacks against the doors. He is going to take a D6 damage hitting the doors. He'll take 5 points of damage as he smashes against the doors, dislocating his elbow. Elbow? Shoulder. Screaming as he hits the doors. That'll give them a chance to come up and try and grab him. He will have to roll under half of his fighting, which is 25. 95, he's failing. The pain in his shoulder is too great. They get a 51, which is still below, but we're going to give it them. They grab him. Oh, let's try again. Go on, lads. 35, that'll do. They grab him and drag him back to the bloated woman who is being helped up on either side. One more sand check, fella. 88 is a massive foul. He is then going... Oh, he loses 6, putting him down to 5 sanity. She will reach her hands out and she will hold on to him and stare into his eyes with a look of love and a look of chaos and a look of desire. And she will then spin him and dance him towards the painting, where she will attempt to get him to go into the painting with her. We will have a look. So it says human form. Let's give a size challenge between the two of them, which is similar sized. They both need to roll under their size. The one who has the biggest difference has resisted or pulled. If Evelyn resists, we'll give him another chance to run and see if he can escape out. Otherwise, he is going to feel the painting like the gravity of a black hole begin to pull him in, and his body is going to become he's going to do the whole black hole stretch, the string theory, and as he begins to stretch and becomes paint and goes into the painting. So we have she in human form has a size of 55, which is rolling an 02, which gives a 53 difference. Now, there's no way that Evelyn can beat 53 because Evelyn has 50. 30 is still under 20 difference, but she is stronger pulling him towards the painting. Evelyn is being stretched out. We'll give him a fine. If he loses 5 points of sanity in this, he is okay because he's lost his sanity and he will not be able to. 11, that still fails. It's a good roll. It's a really good roll actually. Still fails, and so he then loses a d6 of sanity. If this is a 5 or 6, he has gone insane. No, okay, so that's it. That's the worst outcome for Evelyn, as Evelyn is pulled into the painting, and the painting becomes the malleable thing of the painting. There is a pulse of energy where everybody, there's the breathing, the heavy breathing and the slopping sound and the laughter as the paint absorbs Evelyn into the painting, and we close on the picture of the painting as the painting goes still, and there's just the sound. We don't see out of camera shot, we are hearing the room respond to the release of energy and that release that Nyarlathotep is giving to them of the because of the sacrifice. Then we come to a painting. When we come to a gallery, maybe people are speaking French, and a painting is being unwrapped with string and paper, and the painting is being disclosed and is opened up, and they are fascinated by the interest of the painting, and someone in French says, "This is my latest purchase. It is entailed as containing all sorts of power and history. Wait till we've investigated this further. It's bound to open our eyes to what is possible." And I don't know if that ended okay. It kind of rushed the ending because I wanted a certain thing. That is where we will then draw the end of the close of the Ashmolean and Evelyn's investigation into this strange painting, who not only did Evelyn find out what happened to the painting, Evelyn will always be a part of the painting, as where our closing scenes focuses on a couple dancing, one being Rachel and the other being the sad-eyed look of eternal movement that is Evelyn Sinclair. Thank you very much for being a subscriber if you're a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber and you enjoyed that, I am in two minds whether that ended okay or not. Please tell me if you think that was rushed, or I don't know how, if that ended okay, in the comments below. Thank you very much to the Adventurers Guild who have joined as members for the support. Hopefully you enjoyed that short run of Call of Cthulhu, and we'll return back at some point in the future for a new series. Enjoy.